And there we are, there's the guys from Infuse just about to take on Tech, featuring Brizzle. Just to introduce myself, guys, I'm Silverback. This is
Riddles.
Riddles, and this is the first time and the privilege to be casting at EGI11, and the first time to be casting with yourself.
Oh, it's a privilege from my side as well.
It is, I'm absolutely ecstatic. To be honest, let's talk about what we're going to see. We are heading towards the maps. Both these teams are an extremely strong team, and it's going to be, I suppose, really, if you're going to go hard, this is the time you're going to do it for both teams in the brackets.
Yeah, I think out of all the matches that we have seen and have yet to see this weekend, this is going to be one of the most fiery maps we are going to see, or matchups. Even though the teams played off against each other yesterday, it was group stages. I mean, Jake mentioned on a tweet earlier on that day that, you know, it's group stages. It's a way to find your feet. This is where it counts. This is where it matters. This is where Bissell has got all or nothing. He's going to go out. He's got a point to prove, especially after losing yesterday.
He does. He has a massive point to prove. Yesterday, when they were playing, both teams hitting 2 games each, come down to the 5th game, and I have to say, Bissell got abused badly in a sense. All you kept hearing is, that's why you got dropped. Yep. Bissell has a point to prove, and now, on this main stage, he cannot choke.
No, yeah, I agree. I think sometimes the banter gets a little bit too far. Obviously, in the heat of the moment, things get said, and then I'm no doubt in my mind that afterwards, you know, a few players apologise. At the end of the day, you know, you shake hands. It's the heat of the moment. I've been there, I've done it, and I've regretted every word I've said in the past about it. But you know,
oh, totally agree. It is that point when you stand there and true sportsmanship. And let's not forget, esports is no different from each other.
No,
you know, when you have the hype behind you and you have that, it pushes you on.
It does.
And
it's
you
the momentum.
and you cannot forget that can be the difference between winning and losing.
Yeah. Oh, totally agree. It's all about momentum. I mean, I've been saying it ever since I've started casting. Obviously, my full debut yesterday. I've done some casting in the past, and I've always said momentum is the key. If you are on fire, carry on being on fire, because there's no way, chances are that you're going to outshoot everyone, and also you're taking out your opposing teams. You know, they're thinking, right, this person is really good and he's on fire, and we're going to struggle against him. It's that, you know, you're standing them off. You're outstaring them.
It is indeed. I mean, I believe Tech are also running with Tech Realise. He yesterday had an amazing game, and they really need to bring it on into today's event. Let's not forget Infused. Let's knock these boys out. These guys are, I would say, world-class team.
Oh yeah, no doubt. You've got championship winning players there. You've got Jake, who's so experienced. He's been to MLG. You've got Tommy, who has been to MLG. You've also got Josh, who's one of the youngest up-and-coming talents. He's won various championships. You know, I predicted him, and I'm sure many others have predicted him. He will be Europe's most achieved player by the end of next year, I reckon. So
I totally agree with you. There are very few players, when these guys play, you can see it in his face.
Yeah.
He wants it.
He's got the desire, and no matter what anyone says, everyone can tell him one thing or another. You can say, oh, you know, Josh plays too much, but at the end of the day, he's earning money from it. He's earning his #1s. He's earning loads of money from his championships. I can see he kind of agrees with that.
Yeah, it's the nod of the head there.
Yeah, and let's not leave Vintage out. Vintage took a break, and you know, he's been an on and off player. He's been playing, you know, back and forth, and he came back last event. And boy, what a way to come back. He won with Infused, and he's been playing unreal this past weekend as well.
The chemistry is undeniably strong. Even with Tommy sitting in there, it shows the versatility of the team. Yep. You know, they are, I would actually go on the whim and say, these guys are topped for the final of Epsilon.
Oh yeah, I mean, before even coming into this event, I think many people also agreed that it would be Infused and Epsilon that will be going into the top 2 and facing off, and what a matchup it will be. Part of me, I'm drawn between both the teams. You know, I've got friends on both sides. You know, obviously previously I've teamed with Tommy in the past, and you know, I'm a really good friend with Mad Cat and the Epsilon boys as well. So I mean, I'm torn between the two. I'm just going to sit back and let everyone else take over. Yeah, I don't have an opinion.
Yeah, this is the thing. I mean, sitting here looking at, as you guys can see, Tech at the moment, Bizzle looking very relaxed. He's going to be quietly confident, I'm sure. These guys need to really make sure that they have the cohesion they've had. LXT missing from the frame there, as we're going to see him walk right in. Yesterday, I was kind enough to lend him my scuff connector.
Right.
Yeah, cool. Apparently, he came without a scuff connector, a headset, or a disc.
Brilliant.
I know. What a way to start a LAN.
How many LANs have everyone been to, and they still can't bring equipment to So that's one of the joys
I know.
of LAN, isn't
You've
it?
got you've actually got to love it. And guys, just to give you a bit of a feedback from myself, well, feedback from where I come from, you're probably wondering who's this guy sitting in front of the camera and talking away. I've been casting for around about a year now through, I'm going to drop a name, through the War Room, a very good friend of mine. We came together doing events and everything else, and I just want to point out, I'm here because of these guys and everybody that's part of EGL. So it's really important for me to imply out that these guys are giving me a chance is absolutely brilliant. And to cast for yourself, I have to go. I'm like a bit starstruck.
I think I'm more nervous than you, because this is obviously my full casting debut. I did a little bit previously for Gfinity, and I got a good response from that. I was asked by Mello if I fancied giving it a go. I thought, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, it's something different. It's something I've been playing. I haven't had the time to play recent time, 6 months or so. I did start off on Black Ops 2 with Dignitas, with Ryder, Wanda, and Pasco, and unfortunately, real life commitments sunk in, and
yeah,
it's one of those unfortunate things that you have to take into account your real life. But I mean, I'm coming towards the end of that. I mean, I'm looking forward to coming back on Ghost. I'm hoping to start off strong, possibly a team penciled in, not confirmed at the moment. But I mean,
there you go, guys. Breaking news.
No.
Yeah, they're not penciled in. Total possibility. That's secret code for you. I mean, looking at these guys on Black Ops 2, Ghost is going to be a massive thing.
I mean, I tend to stay away from the hype on new games, just simply because, as a competitive player, I look for the I can't help but look for the flaws. With the Black Ops 2, with Modern Warfare 3, I stayed away from the videos just because I'd rather test it out myself,
hands-on,
and get an opinion of my own. And start. As a competitive player, obviously, I want to play to the best of my ability. It's my nature. I want to win, but I also want to play the game for fun at the start. Learn a bit about the maps, and it's because probably the only time where I will play the game for, as a public amateur player,
I totally agree with you. When you're sitting there and you're playing in your house, in your bedroom, in your office, wherever you are, it's a big importance to realise that the first and foremost, you play that game as a public player.
Yeah.
Right. That's when you start building. There is a lot of hype regarding the new call-out systems, the way the guns are in, especially with the snipers and everything else. Really, it's just going to be a case of let's wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, at the start of every game, you see all the top teams going straight into scrims and then trying to get come out on top really early on. But I mean, enjoy it. I mean, I play a few GB games at the beginning just because it's so much more fun. No one knows all the sweaty call-outs, the sweaty little minute holes that you can look through to kill people. And GB, that's where you learn the most stuff from, because they are some of I mean, everyone says it. They are some of the greatest players in the European scene to learn from are from GB players.
Oh, totally agree.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at half the players here. This is where they started out.
Exactly. Pretty much near everyone started out on GB.
And that's how you build the cohesion. You understand. Yeah. I mean, I know for one, when I sit there and I know when I'm going to get the game out and I'm going to undo it out of the box. I know for a full fact, for the first 5 days, the amount of profanity that will come out my mouth purely because of GB.
Yeah.
And you are going to get that point. It's a case of now bring the cohesion. A lot of teams are waiting for this step.
Yep.
There's a lot of events coming up. This is the last Black Ops event.
Yep.
This is the big one. This is the bragging rights. And I think every team that is in this event wants to win it for the pure reason that they can turn around and go, we won.
Yeah, it's to come off of a high, go out with a bang. I mean, everyone naturally should be wanting to win an EGL event. Unfortunately, I've always wanted to win an EGL event. The highest I got was second, unfortunately. I was so close yet so far.
It's in the reaching distance.
It's in the reaching distance. Hopefully, maybe something else on Ghosts. We'll hopefully see another, maybe a first place from myself. I mean, it's in the works. I want to finish first. Whether or not it happens, it's a different story. That
is it. I mean, guys, the audience are growing in size. We need to look at these guys and really an expectation more from Tech. They have 2 teams here. This is classed as a second team, I suppose, in essence, when you look at the first team itself with Mello, Tech Robs, Momo, as we saw earlier on. These guys have probably more to stand up to than any other team, I think, at this event. I mean, Epsilon, we know they're good. There's no doubt. TCM, strong team. And when we look at it here, I'm not quite sure what he's actually putting up.
Followers,
I think, look at that. No, I love that. No one's actually messaging you. You know, no one. You have no followers.
I think we should actually talk about the matchup that we've got ahead.
Yeah, on
we've got some maps here. We've got Yemen to start off with, Hardpoint, S&D Raid, CTF Standoff, Hardpoint Slums, and if it does go that far, you know, we've got the latter games. We've got S&D on Meltdown. Now, I'm a massive fan of Yemen. Some people don't like it, but some people do, just because of the pure fact that it's so much gunfights. The only frustrating thing I hate about Yemen is when you're playing against a team with the correct setup. I got taught a massive lesson at the last ETO I played with. You know, I went with Nino, Joshua Nino, also known as Loco, Mohog. I also went with Toby as royalty. And I got a massive lesson taught to me from the French outfit back then that was, I believe, was Mythics or Epsilon. You know, it had broken. And their setup on Hardpoint, I just got so frustrated. To one point, I just put my controller down because I was spawning so far away from the hill, my thumbs were starting to hurt. And I'd never at the time, never ever seen a spawn trap quite as surreal as that. And I just literally put down my controller, turned around to Toby, and I said, right, what's the next map?
That is the thing, though. I have to say, you've got to really watch your rotations on Yemen.
Yeah.
You need to have an anchor that is immensely strong and isn't going to have the wonder. If you lose the rotation and you lose those spawn points, like you said, you can spawn so far away. A team can actually wreck you in a rotation. Yeah. And you can see, again, a team that's 120 drop down and be 250. Yep. It is that important on Yemen.
Near enough, but I would say about two of all the hard points that you do have on that map. I mean, you can get the full 60 off it, no problem, if the setup is there. It's one of the most frustrating maps. I mean, there's a lot of cover. Some people disagree. You know, it's one of those maps that it's Marmite. You either love it or you hate it. You know,
totally
there are
agree.
some in betweens. I'm not going to lie. I think it's just the pure fact that it's such the spawns. I mean, they're so frustrating, and it's hard to you know, to like it.
I think moving on to Raid.
Right.
Now this map,
I love Raid.
Yeah, is the favourite, I think,
so
of most
intense.
gamers.
It's such a run and gun type map. You know, you're constantly always in action. I mean, that's where you see some of the greatest players in the European Call of Duty scene on Hardpoint. I know the Raid will be an S&D game type, but on Hardpoint Raid, you see some of the greatest European players playing to the best of their ability, just because they're so used to thinking quick. It's all run and gun. It's all gun skill.
When you look at actually Raid as an S&D map, I think we fail to look at the quality that you get from the players when playing it. On an attacking, you have to be so strong as a unit. Okay, you've got to have those call-outs. You need to make sure that you're on point and in position. If you fail to drop on an attack, you can be annihilated. Because the defence is so strong and you can go straight across the range of the map. It is a really difficult map. And the team that breaks an attack, I think, will be the team that will take that map.
I've been saying this time and time again. I'm sure, you know, audience members listening will probably be getting sick and tired of me saying this, but play S&D exactly how you play it online.
Yeah, totally
Be aggressive,
agree.
and especially on Hardpoint Raid, S&D is such a prime example. That bomb that you've got just outside the circle, just push it straight off. Get the early plant. When Ride and Wonder, you know, one of the greatest S&D duos out there in the European scene, taught me just rush that bomb. Because on S&D, I would always take the bomb because I'd allow my teammates to rush and get the early kills. But I would just go straight for that bomb plant. I have complete and utter faith of my teammates to cover me from all types of directions. I can plant the bomb, boom, instantly. The defense, or the team that's on the defending side, they are a bottleneck. They've got to go for that plant.
Yeah, they've got no option. You're putting yourself in a situation. As you said, as soon as you plant that bomb, there's 3 points. Right, you've got to have those areas covered, and as you said, it's the confidence in your team to take that.
Yep.
If you get that, and that's what I said, if you get broken on the attack, that team can take that, and they will take that map. And I think this is what Infuse need to be careful on when looking at this, because these guys from Tech have that ability to push. They've got Bizzle.
Yep.
We know he has skill. He's
a great player. Since the Call of Duty days, 4 days, I mean, Domination, he was one of the best Domination players out there. You know, he was with RXG. You know, they were always known as the free cap team because they would be constantly in your face, so aggressive. But then you've got players like Jake on the opposite team. He comes from PS3, Flame Retardant, and then back on the Black Ops 1 days. I mean, he's got YouTube videos, he's got stream videos of him at an event where they push the spawns to the ridiculous point of where it's actually, you know what, it's unplayable. They will spawn in front of your face. That's how aggressive these players are. You've got Josh, one of the greatest communicators on this game in the European scene. And, you know, if you've got that mixture of aggressiveness and you've got the greatest communicators, you've got Tommy's, you know, he's a mathematician. Tommy's is really good. He's almost like Wanda. I mean, he's such a strategist. You know, he can predict things. And teaming with him in the past, it's unbelievable.
He has such an advanced gaming knowledge.
He does. I mean, he just has such a wealthy experience and knowledge of the game and the pushes. And I mean, one of the greatest players I've played with is Wanda. Just simply because he's a strategist. You know, he plays all these strategy games, and it helps with him in Call of Duty because he can predict plays that I can't even predict. And it's the same with Tommy. So it's going to be a really intense matchup because you've also got Elixity who's blown up on this game. You know, he's come out of the woodwork and he's come out strong. When I first started playing with him at the beginning of Black Ops 2, you know, we would scrim against him and we'd always scrim against him because they handed it to us. They pushed us to limits that we'd seen, and that's what I think loads of teams these days in this scene and this at this particular time they don't do enough of it. They play, you know, really, really laid back and what's the word I'm looking for? You know, when it's like they're scared to push.
Yeah, they have a relaxed, more relaxed attitude. They're more
really
aware.
Passive,
yeah. I know
cautious,
what you mean. Trying to get there, but see, that actually leads us into Capture Flag on Slums.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, my favourite mode on my favourite map. Mm-hmm. I love this map. It opens so much. It's when really you see a game and a team can get a great pull and you see it run tank side, through back alleys, through station, you know that team is buzzing. Yeah. And even as a commentator, I love watching the plays because you just sit there and you wait for the hellstorm. If someone's on streaks, it's immense, absolutely immense. But guys, we're just actually joining the game. So what I'm going to go in through is quickly as well.